Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Therapist. Today I'm coming to you with a short video about dating apps. As some of you probably know, I, in real life, am a relationship therapist for queer couples. Because of my focus on the queer community, that means I end up working with a lot of people who have a lot of experience on dating apps. Either people are getting back into the dating scene, people are leaving the dating scene, have met their partners on dating apps. You might be surprised, or maybe you're not, the number of times that dating apps come into my periphery as a queer couples therapist. And as it gets more and more difficult to meet people in real life, especially in the queer community, dating apps are so much more important. So I am here to rate the top 5 LGBTQIA+ dating apps and tell you why they land where they do in the top 5. Are you ready? We're going to start with number 5, and that's going to be Scruff. Scruff is specifically for gay, bisexual, pansexual men. Scruff is different from other apps you may have heard of, like Grindr. It is newer than Grindr. The base of people who are using Scruff tend to be very dedicated to Scruff itself, which is great if that's what you're looking for. But also, a lot of people are dating to get into relationships, which means they don't necessarily want to stay on an app if they're in a relationship. Specifically, this app, there's a lot of buzz about inclusion and body positivity, which is fantastic. It's great for specific communities, like say you're a man specifically into bears. That is a way that you can filter people. It's got you if you're looking for community-based interaction. However, it also tends to be more directed at an older crowd. So depending on your age and depending on your intent in using the app, this might not be the best app for you if you are younger, if you are starting out in the dating scene, or if you're looking for a long-term commitment with one person and getting off the app. Number 4, we're going to talk about Grindr. I'm putting Grindr in place number 4. Honestly, I'm going to be real. 4 and 3, who I'm going to talk about in 3, could be interchangeable. Grindr is a very well-known app. It is specific for men. Because Grindr is so widely used, it means there's a huge assortment of people on it, which also means that it shouldn't be super hard for you to be able to find somebody. However, the cons of Grindr is there do tend to be a lot of men on there that are looking for a covert hookup and not looking for anything more. So if you're looking for a longer term serious type relationship, or you're looking to get to know somebody over a span of time, that might not be the best way to do it. If you are looking to hook up with someone and then move on, this is a great way to do that. It's not to say you can't meet someone through Grindr. Definitely know people who have. It's just not always the go-to place for people to do that. Grindr doesn't necessarily focus on non-binary individuals, much like Scruff doesn't, which is one of the reasons that it is towards the lower end of these top 5. But it does still make the top 5. In spot number 3 is the dating app Her. The reason that Her is number 3 is the same as why Grindr is number 4. They're pretty much interchangeable. Some of the pros of the app Her is it is designed specifically for lesbian, bisexual, queer, and non-binary people. So the contrast here is that it does have more inclusion when it comes to specifically identities. And it does have the option for social networking. So it's not just about dating. You can also use it to make friends, find people with similar interests that are also within the queer community, which is kind of a nice feature, right? The thing with Her is that there has been a lot of pushback about their location services being an issue. And that could be for a couple of different reasons. That depends whether or not there's people in your area who are using the app, because it's not quite as widely used as some other apps, or it could be an issue with their actual location services, as some people believe, which means that that's the thing that the app has to work out for themselves. Because of the subscription cost, there has been a little bit of pushback on how many limited free features there are and whether or not the things that you really want in the app are available in the free version, or whether or not you have to buy the subscription in order to access the things that you want to access. The benefit of this app is that people who are specifically looking for women and non-binary people, they have a place to go, which would be this app, and that does help for some people in narrowing their options. Number 2, I'm going to say Hinge. And here's why. Hinge gets the number 2 spot, even though it is a across the board app. This is not just about the LGBTQIA+ community, but it gets such a top rating because people behind that app have done so much recently to make it more inclusive. There's so many different options and ways that you can use the app. That has been something over the last couple of years that people behind Hinge have really worked on in making it more inclusive. However, the big con behind Hinge is it is still heteronormative and therefore focused on heterosexual couples. The addition of the LGBTQIA plus options and questions has been a great step, but it's an add-on. It's not the focus. And that shows when you're using it. That's why I'm putting my number one slot, also the sponsor for today's video, which is an app called Taimi. This is a standard dating app specifically for the LGBTQIA plus community, with every sexuality and every identity included. It includes people who are lesbian, people who are gay, people who identify as women, people identify as men, people identify as non-binary. It has an option for people who identify as asexual, people who identify as demisexual. Even within those categories, there are more ways to identify yourself as you're building your profile within the app itself. Because it's so customizable, it promotes inclusivity, allowing people to date and connect without having to fit inside of a pre-made box. People are also encouraged to meet in real life through their Taimi in-person feature, which organizes LGBTQI plus events in your area. And as many of you know, that is not something that's easy to come across right now. That can be huge for people who are lonely, people who are having a hard time finding community within their community. So there you go. There's the rundown of the top 5 LGBTQI plus dating apps that I, as a therapist, have most of my clients talking about in 2025. If you're going to use an online platform, the right platform needs to help you feel better about yourself and better about connecting with people, not make you feel like you're doing something wrong or that there's something to be hidden or marginalized about you. Choosing the right platform is so important because it needs to help you feel connected and not more isolated. So take your time, look at some of these platforms. If you're looking at getting into online-based connection with people, take your time, talk to other people, Google some stuff, look at reviews, and see what you think. Hopefully this video is a helpful guide for you. If you liked it, make sure that you give us a thumbs up, maybe share it with some people. We'd love to spread this information so that people are aware of the options that are out there. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you all next time, and until then, take care of yourselves and each other.